Then you got a Star Trek laser tag. A laser tag. I guess it's kind of like laser tag. Oh, phaser guns. You get 2 in one box. Ain't that cool? Whew. I tell you, I do not trust that transporter. Well, today what we're going to look at, well, we're going to go back to 1979 for the release of Star Trek, the motion picture. That's right, Star Trek was back. And a lot of us grew up with it in the 60s. A lot of us grew up in reruns in the 70s. Then you had the animated series. And people kept yelling, we want more Star Trek. Well, they did it, the motion picture. A movie that kids would love. Well, kids would love it. Star Trek fans liked it. Back then, I thought it was kind of boring and long, but to me, it's one of the better Star Trek movies. It's probably the most Star Trek movie of all the Star Trek movies. But today, we're going to look at the merchandise, because when it came to Star Trek, the motion picture, they went all out. They released a bunch of merchandise. I mean, this was 1976. This was a few years after Star Wars. The motion picture company saw, we need merchandise with a big movie. And Star Trek was, of course, a big movie. And they did some weird stuff. Now, I'm not going to show you stuff like the Mego action figures. Well, I do think we got one to look at. But a lot of times when I do these videos, I get a comment saying, hey, you forgot about this, and it's some popular item. I try to make this a little bit more fun of stuff you probably haven't seen or hadn't seen in a long time. So, you don't have to tell me in the comments, oh, you forgot to name something very popular. Let's get into this right now. Star Trek, the motion picture, merchandise. And we're going to start right here with Star Trek Band-Aids, or adhesive bandage. Who calls them that? There they go. Star Trek, the motion picture Band-Aids. Hey, man, I don't really do Band-Aids. I don't really put the Band-Aid company. I know. Like I said, I try to show you stuff that most people haven't seen. You got to admit, that's one right there. And then we got a Star Trek, the motion picture deck of cards. You want to play a little poker? Well, you can with Captain Spock and Lieutenant McCoy. There you go right there. Star Trek. And how about this right here? Star Trek, the human adventure is just beginning. Matches. Matches. You heard me right. Matches. Not even a cigarette lighter. Matches for Star Trek, the motion picture. Dr. Spock, you want to light up a cigarette? I got some matches for you. You think that's weird? Wait till you see what the inside offer. Wait till you see the inside offer of this one right here. Yep, only $3, you can get a Star Trek yo-yo. Who's buying matches so you can get a $3 coupon for a Star Trek yo-yo? It just don't make any sense. I don't understand. It should have been $3 off a lung cancer screening or something. I don't know. Check out this right here. A Star Trek food plate. Food pan. What do you call it? TV. We should do a TV dinner on them. Be like, oh, come from the TV. We're going to watch Star Trek, the motion picture. And eat off right there. Look at Spock. He's ready to have some sloppy joes in his face. That's right. Right there. You can put sloppy joe in Captain Spock's face. Just, there you go, Captain Spock. Let's move on right here to Star Trek Space Flashlight. Flashlight. That right there. You want to shine your light on some people? You can shine your light on Star Trek. The motion picture. There you go. One thing about this merchandise, you don't have to see that Stephen Collins? What happened to that guy? What happened to that guy? I don't ever see that guy on anything. Bring back Stephen Collins. Let's start an ad campaign. And then you got Star Trek the mug. Star Trek, I feel like I'm doing a Spaceballs parody here. Star Trek mug. Look at that. It's got Dr. What's that damn beeping? It's got Dr. McCoy on there. Yeah, and Spock. Yeah. Lieutenant Commander Spock's right there on the mug. And there's James T. Kirk himself. That's Tiberius for you lamers out there. And then we got Star Trek. Make your own costume book. You know, you got, there's some lame costumes, I bet you. You know, it ain't gonna turn out like nothing like you want it to, like the book says. And check out this, Star Trek Silly Putty. Star Trek Silly Putty. Can you believe it? I can't either. Remember getting Silly Putty and the comics would come on Sunday. You press the Silly Putty down, you lift it up, and you're like, the comic book's on my Silly Putty. You couldn't understand it. You're like, okay, I picked up my Silly Putty. Now my comic strip is on my Silly Putty, but my comic strip is still here in my newspaper. Excuse me, I still don't know how it works. I still don't know how it works, but I know what did work good. Star Trek the Mego figure. There you go for all y'all. Where's the Mego figures? There you go right here. The bald-headed chick right there. Star Trek Mego action figure line. And check out this. I don't think this was not the motion picture. I think this was 1976, but it was so stupid, I had to put it on here. A Star Trek hat. Look at this Star Trek hat. Who's wearing that? I don't know. Probably a girl with cancer that has no hair. Maybe she would wear it. Well, probably not then either. And then we got Star Trek wallet. Star Trek wallet. Ugh. Who's gonna put? You ain't gonna put no money in that or nothing. You ain't gonna put a condom in there or nothing. Star Trek wallet. And then we got a Star Trek costume. I guess it's Spock. Guess you have to buy the box to see the whole face. Well, if you bought it, you're like, I like Lieutenant Spock. I like Lieutenant Spock. Then you get the box, you find out, ooh, got big old bucky teeth or something. And then you got Star Trek the lunchbox. The motion picture lunchbox. He was bringing this to school. Nothing against Star Trek. Now, I'm more of a Next Generation fan, but I know I liked watching Star Trek as a kid. But man, you just asking for a beating, aren't you? You're just asking for a Star Trek lunchbox. I mean, it's 1979. You can have Superman. You can still hold on to your Star Wars lunchbox. You can have other ones. Star Trek, it was just for an older crowd of people. And here's the thermos that was inside of it. You heard me right. There was a thermos in your metal lunchbox. Crazy times in the 70s right there. And check out this. Star Trek the motion picture. What's that? Star Wars is doing a Marvel comic? We got two also. Okay, Star Trek, stop trying to copy Star Wars. Star Wars was first. And there it is right there. What's it say? Star-studded first issue. Star-studded. It's like a Love Boat episode or something. And check out this. Coca-Cola collectible glass. Star Trek, the motion picture. You can get one. Look at that. It's got Captain Kirk. You can get Captain Kirk on a glass. Not only that, you can scrape off the top of it and scrape it off and tell people you got a T.J. Hooker glass. Now, you couldn't do that in 1979, but you could do it a little bit later. And then you got a Star Trek 3D poster. You got to get those little little cardboard 3D glasses. One blue lens, one black. Let me try that again. One red lens, one blue lens. Then it'd be all in 3D. Remember those 3D comic books used to come with those glasses? It was crazy. And then you got Star Trek the motion picture trading cards. Oh man. I got almost all the cards. I'll trade you my Mr. Spock. You could have them all. And then you got Star Trek giant puzzle. I don't know how giant it is. I mean, a giant puzzle to me would be about the size of this room. But that's just me. There you go. Star Trek, a puzzle. I hate these little slide puzzles. You take the little, never could do them. And then you got a Star Trek, a patch. Star Trek, the motion picture patch. Little Billy, last week you had a hole in your blue jeans. Now you got a Star Trek patch. Little Billy, don't even come to school. If you can't have no pants with no holes in them, because don't put a Star Trek patch on them. Where's Scotty? I ain't seen Scotty or what's going on here? Scotty. And then we got another giant puzzle. This one's got William Shatner on the go. I already talked about anything else to say. I don't want to put that in a toy. How about no joke, this is real. Star Trek, the motion picture, Spock, decanter. What's a decanter? It's a cookie jar for adults, but you put your liquor in it. Who is this for? And then you got from Knickerbocker did this one right here. A stuffed doll of Spock. They did a Kirk also. Didn't pull that up, sorry. But there he is. Spock got a big old plastic head and a rubbery body. Looks almost like Stretch Armstrong or something, but it's not that. It's just more of a soft material there, I think. Could be wrong. And there's a wallet. Another wallet for your Star Trek condoms. No, they didn't make Star Trek condoms. I'm surprised. Now, Star Trek. Right there. It's got the Enterprise on it. The Enterprise. And check out this right here. The motion picture soundtrack on a cassette tape. Then there's somebody riding around 1979 and they're badass with Trans Am jamming to the Star Trek motion picture soundtrack, and I hope not. And then you got a laser gun. Look at that. It even comes with a free battery. What is that, a AA battery? Got that 9 with a cat on it. That was really popular back then. least it's a name brand ever ready. At least it's a name brand ready. I'm surprised. Right there, I never seen a gun like that in Star Trek. Man, I didn't really look that close. I didn't see every episode. And then we got Star Trek. Dickie, Star Trek, the Enterprise. They could have just, I don't know. It's too clean, too white or something. It's supposed to be more of a gray color. Die-cast metal, though. USS Enterprise. And then we got a Star Trek motion picture model of Mr. Spock. Yeah, he's no longer Doctor in the movies. On the TV show, he was Dr. Spock. But now in the movie, he got a promotion. Now he's Mr. Spock. And there he is right there, standing next to a tree. That's good. Standing next to a tree. I didn't see any bananas on that tree. And then we got the Star Trek Happy Meal was the first Happy Meal movie tie-in. Did you know that? Well, if you watch this channel, you did, because I did a whole video breaking it down, looking at it and everything. So I got more to see. Just go check out that video if you want to know more about it. And then we got Star Trek. Look at this. I don't think this came out right when the movie did. It doesn't really have related to the motion picture, but it's Chekhov's telling you all about the making of the movie. You want to hear about the making of Star Wars from one of the lower end co-stars? Well, Chekhov will tell you all about it. You know, probably Spock. William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy would probably be a little bit better, but hey. All got to tell their story, I guess. Then you got a Star Trek laser tag. A laser tag. I guess it's kind of like laser tag. Oh, phaser guns. You get 2 in 1 box. Ain't that cool? I know it is. Check out this right here. Also from the same company, Star Trek the Enterprise ship. You could play with the Enterprise. You ever think you'd live to see that day? I didn't think I would either. And if you see the movie, you want to color some Star Trek? You want to color that bald chick? Now you can with the Star Trek coloring book. Yeah, on the way home, you can stop by the gas station and ask your dad for a Star Trek coloring book. And activity. Probably got some mazes in there, to be honest with you. And from Milton Bradley, we got the Star Trek board game. I'm sure it's boring. Boring game is what they should call it. Any board game. There ain't many good board games. There's a few good board games. You got Stego out there. You got Man Magazine. But for most of them, they're pretty bad, so we're going to move on here, too. Star Trek, the water pistol. You want to get wet? You want to go see Star Trek? Yeah, does William Shatner get you wet? Well, he will if he has a water pistol. He'll squirt all over your face. Let's move on before I get demonetized. That didn't come out right. Star Trek sunglasses. You want to make your mom wish she got that abortion that your dad begged her to get? Well, you can. Just wear these Star Trek sunglasses. That's all you got to do. And here we go. Can you believe they made this? Star Trek. A moist towelette. What? Cleaning towel. Oh, I tell you, I let it go eat some ribs tonight, but my hand's going to get all sticky. Don't worry, honey. We got your Star Trek wipes. Ugh. Keeps a little brown out of your underwear also. You know, when you go to the bathroom, you're like, oh, I wish I had something a little wet. It says it's dry paper. Well, there you go. You got the cleaning tissues. You got the towelettes. 12 disposable towelettes. All wet. They made this for Star Trek in the motion picture. What? But we're not done yet, because you know they made Star Trek ears. They had to. They had to make these, right? I don't know why they didn't make Captain Kirk's ears. Hey, come on. Who made this? I don't know. Hey. Why we get, okay, I get it. We get Spock ears, but why couldn't we get, tell me what more Chekhov ears? That would have been a big hit. That would have been a big hit right there. I mean, your friend's got Spock ears. At least the person that your friend could have, Captain Kirk ears. We all would like that. That would be funny. Believe it or not, that's a look at some Star Trek merchandise related to the motion picture. Man, tell me, did you see the motion picture? Did you enjoy it? Like I said, as I got older, I could appreciate it a lot more. It's still not a good generation. Star Trek First Contact is the best Star Trek movie ever. I don't care if it's Ralph Kahn. No, it's not. Star Trek First Contact. But maybe that's because I'm a Next Generation fan more than anything else. But anyway, that's some Star Trek merchandise. Let me know in the comments below what you had, what you didn't have, what you kind of wish you had. You wish you had those Spock ears and a moist towel wet? Let me know that in the comments below.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.